What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman here for Stokastic.com, back with the process for Monday, July 25th. So be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. I've recorded this already, recorded the whole damn video, and microphone wasn't active, so there was no audio. And as much as I think staring at this screen while I talk and you hear nothing is going to be a decent show, it's not. So this is me re-recording it, and it's going to be a slightly abridged version of everything that I said on this previous one, but we'll get through it quick. Before we do anything, because I missed this the first time, had to hit it halfway through. PrizePicks is the presenting sponsor of the process. Use the promo code Awesemo, AWESEMO, so that you can get up to $100 as a first match deposit bonus. So if you put in $100, they will match with another $100. Make sure you're taking advantage of this offer. You're worried about player props for the most part. We're talking over-unders. You're building parlay cards. A little bit different. You don't have to worry about sharks or optimizers or anything like that. So go check out PrizePicks. Link in the description of the video. So to sum up everything that I said earlier, and we can move through it pretty quickly, we have been experimenting with not stacking in baseball since the beginning of this video. And that is what I have up on the screen right now. I've got the results for baseball since we started the process on the screen, and I'm pulling the plug a week earlier than I was saying I was going to. What you see are the percentile finishes. And as you can see, from a top 10 perspective, we only got into the top 10 8.6% of the time. That is dreadful. Absolutely, positively dreadful. That is as clear of an indication to me that this process isn't working, or at the very least, I'm doing something wrong. I don't get the sense that's the case given my top 10 results in anything else that I've done in DFS. So to me, I think the problem without stacking is that you remove the opportunity to consistently get into that top upper echelon. Are you more likely to have one lineup break free and absolutely destroy the pack? Yes, because you're fitting individual pieces together. It's just going to be you're going to have the option to fit the best pieces together. However, I don't think that it's highly repeatable, and that is what we're seeing here. Is it fine if you want to try to get back to the cut line? Yeah. Don't try to do that, by the way, in a large field GPP. We're leaving so much on the table by not stacking. On any day where a team is an outlier, we're never going to get there because you're not going to have that stack. On the day where the Blue Jays put up 25 runs, you're never going to get to the top. You need a day where it's 3 runs or 4 runs at best across the board, really low scoring stuff. Then you're going to have a little bit better of a shot. But I don't really see any reason to continue this experiment because I just don't see it as a profitable endeavor. You're going to see unstacked lineups all the time win contests because you're working on a sample size there of like 10 to 15,000 lineups in a 30,000 lineup contest. That's not enough for 150. So we took an absolute beating. If I drill it down even further, 5%ers, 3.7% of lineups in the top 5%. It should be north of 5. You want that number really north of 6 or 7 or 8. You know, you want to be 0.5. I mean, you're at the very least, you want to be in like the 7.5 range. This is just bad. It's bad across the board. We just didn't have the results that, not that I expected, because I didn't think this, like, look at that. Under on 1%, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, and 7s. It's not that I thought it was going to succeed. I just thought that there could have been a mechanism where this becomes a bit extra profitable now that we have these payout structures on the contests that are so ridiculously top heavy. I thought maybe having that increased outlier opportunity would be a major benefit. And for those that don't know, I had a conversation with Ship My Money, Adam Scher, a fellow co-host here at Stokastic, and we were hypothesizing like whether or not this works. And I was just like, look, I got the process show. I'm happy to run a dummy scenario over the next month plus or whatever to see how it works. So I did, because that, to me, that was worth it. It's worth it for this content, or it's worth it for the content. It's worth it for just general knowledge. If you're trying to figure this stuff out. And who knows how the industry is going to evolve. So you kind of always want to see if you're getting out in front of something. It looks like I'm getting behind everything. Best I could tell, this put me directly behind the 8 ball. Best finish that we had was at the end of June 27th. We finished 4th in the Minimax for $150. That was the best that we had happen. We had one other top 10 finish, and then that was it. So in the grand scheme of things, overall down $797, down 35% since we started this up June 6th. And I think it's because we just don't have the ability to consistently get... Look, when you're running that, we're going to put 85% of the lineups below the cut line just by default, or something in that neighborhood. 85% is probably too extreme, but actually it might not even be. You're just naturally going to have like 2 spots where the lineup dies, and all of a sudden it's just, you're not going to get to the top. So as of today, now that I'm at my parents' house again, I'm going to be here for the rest of the week, everybody. So enjoy the surroundings. Make sure you're keeping an eye on this. We're getting back to where I wanted to be at the beginning of June when we kicked this process show off. I'm going to be grinding this now like a man trying to grind a bankroll and not a guy trying to have an experiment. We're going to get back to stacking like I normally do. We're going to get back to just playing good MLB DFS, and I'm excited for that. So we will be analyzing my lineups and the stacks and everything that I have moving forward on a day-to-day basis. But for now, the no stack experiment is officially over, and I would say that it was a rousing failure. We're going to do this for the next 4 days. And by the way, I didn't play any PGA this weekend. I didn't play any MMA this weekend. I've had a very narrow window between being in Chicago with the rest of the Stokastic crew and coming home to North Carolina and then having to flip it around and head right up to Pennsylvania. So I didn't play anything over the weekend. So what we are going to do is just simply get into baseball today. We'll evaluate everything each morning. Tomorrow's going to be PGA contests that we evaluate to see what we want to play for Thursday. But from a baseball perspective, we're going to go over everything that I do now each morning and really dig into what are the pros doing, what's getting done in a 150, or what's getting done in the mini max, what did I do, what is the relationship between all of those things, and then how much success can we actually find out that we have. So that is going to be the path forward for the process for the rest of the baseball season. I hope you're coming along for the ride, and we'll remember this day, July 25th. This is going to be the jumping off point for stacking, and then we can actually see some numbers. I'm quite confident we will see some numbers in the green here, and we'll get that ROI back. Because if I can't beat the 50-cent mini-max, you shouldn't listen to a damn word I say. So let's get back to normal. Let's get back to me looking like I'm not a total dummy. For now, though, I think I caught up on everything that I wanted to say in this video and recap the first time. So the only other thing that we can do now is take a look at today's contests. This is the baseball contest for today. For those of you that have not watched this show before, I'm taking a look at everything on DraftKings, including how much it costs you to max it, how many entries, when you max, how many entries, what percentage of entries do you have in that contest? How big of a chunk of the prize pool is paid out to the top 1%, and how much of that gets paid out on average to a 1% entry. So the best contest that you can always get into is the relay throw. $15 to get in, costs you $2,200 to max, which is a massive amount. It's $333,000 overall today, but you're only hitting 0.57% of the entries. Like, you're up in dollars, so it's going to be a little bit tougher, but at the same time, the pros cannot just simply overwhelm the contest with entries. It's a really nice payout structure. You can't really ask for much more. Batter's Eye is similar. It's going to be a much harder contest because you are going to be going up against more pros, but there's going to be less rake and I think a better payout structure. To me, the best contest you can get in if you're trying to grind your way up, if you've got a bankroll like this where you're trying to play like $75 to $100, it is the four-seamer. $4.20 max, 14,000 entries. When you max it, you are only 0.13% of the field. That means that you're not getting inundated with pros. It should be the softest field you're going to find. While you are paying the most rake, to me, it's the best payout structure. I personally want to play 150 lineups or more. I just like having more entries. It's more fun for me to grind. And at some point in time, I'm willing to give back a little bit of what I think is a better contest just to be more enjoyable. So I'm going to play 150 lineups in the 50-cent mini max today. It's 0.42% of the entries when you have it. So it's a relatively soft field. You get 30 times your buy-in if you get a 1% entry. So in this case, we're trying to get entries into the top 137 people. So that's the plan for tonight. We'll figure out who we're stacking at a later date. But if you can get into the power alley or the $1 mini max is better than the 50-cent mini max, but $1 mini max is $150, and that is outside the purview of this particular video. I don't want to go north of 100. I'm trying to treat it like I'm playing $75 to $100 a night, which means I'm going to enter the mini max here. It's possible that I throw an entry into the base hit too before the day is over. We'll see where we end up, because it's probably the best individual. Like if you just want to look at DFS, the $12 base hit, almost 2,000 people in it. It's a single entry contest, 20K prize pool. When you enter it, 0.05% of the, you are 0.05% of the entrance. That is going to be filled with softer competition. Very hard for anyone to flood the contest with like just brainiacs. That's just not going to be out there. And it's a great payout structure, 35 times your buy-in for a top 1% finish. So get in the base hit if you can. I think it's the best individual contest that exists. If you're just like, I said this on the other video, I want to say it again. I wish DraftKings or FanDuel or whoever crowned champions for each contest. Wouldn't you want to know who the best four-seamer was for the season or for the year? Or like who did best in the $1 mini max for the entire year? I would love to see that information. I think it would be very interesting because you would get a full sample. You'd get a giant sample size. Now, you would have to sort it by like, oh, are we looking at ROI? Are we looking at profit? Are we looking at top 1% lineups? I think like top 1% lineup percentage would be the best way to do it. None of this data is ever going to exist. Someone would have to do it on their own. There's a little task for an enterprising young man or woman. But for now, this is where we're at. We're ending the stack experience or the no stack experience. We're calling it an utter failure, and I'm happy to put it to bed. I want to get back to playing baseball the way that I enjoy. So we're going to start stacking starting tonight. I'm on live before lock tonight with Neil, which now that I'm thinking of it is going to be, it's going to be great that I get to talk to Neil. It's going to be awful in that I'm getting back to stacking and I got to be live hosting a show, but we're going to have some fun tonight anyway. Enjoy the contest that you guys can get in. Good luck tonight. We're only doing this for 4 days this week. No work for me on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm shipping out on Friday, heading to Dallas with Adam. Ship my money share so that we can go to the UFC. So we'll definitely be looking at PGA contests tomorrow on this show so we can get ready for Thursday. And then on Thursday, we're absolutely looking at UFC contest selection. We might even do that Wednesday, depending on how quickly they're filling. But either Wednesday or Thursday, we're going to look at UFC contests for the big pay-per-view. Adam is in the final 10 people. So we'll check out everything that's available. You know, we'll get into what we're going to get into for Saturday. It might be outside the normal process structure. I think I might just max the big GPP, which is going to be slightly more than $100. But keep your eyes peeled for that for the rest of the week. Good luck tonight. And if the audio didn't record this time, you're never getting this video. So thank you guys. Thank you to PrizePicks. Shout out to everybody. Like, subscribe, notification bell. I'm out. Peace.